If you've been looking for a video that properly represents a really miserable day of farming, we've got one for you. We are finally planting today and soybeans are going in.
That's how a poor farmer unloads a seed tow.
He still has a smile in this video because he has no clue what the day has in store for him. Stay tuned. We have been farming a whole whopping 2 years, with this being the third year. And Eric is also new to planting into cover crop. Now the spraying didn't kill off as much of the cover crop as he had hoped, and it's really thick out there. So thick, it's making it extremely difficult for him to see his markers, so he needs to make some adjustments. We only farm 80 acres. This is not a full-time job, and it only keeps him busy for a few weeks out of the year. Eric has a 25-year metal fabricating career, and he is currently self-employed. His experience in metal fabricating comes in very handy with the farming, and it was especially handy to have this skill today, as you will all witness. Unfortunately, that was not accurate. What's wrong with them?
They were bending. There's so much pressure on them because of that. I can't see my marker, so I'm angling them really severely.
So what you're doing right there, are you just bending them back?
Bend them back and welding in a gusset. For strength.
Yes. Eric has been itching to get out in the field and get the planting done. A good part of the country has been dealing with a very wet spring, and it has delayed a lot of our efforts. The soil conditions can't be too wet. We had rain forecasted to hit on Friday, but fortunately it missed us, so we're ready to go, and it's Saturday morning. Rain is forecasted again for Monday or Tuesday, so we are really hoping that we don't hit too many problems today and are able to finish planting by sundown. He just needs to put the markers back on now that he has them angled properly. Time to get the seed in the planter. And here's our neighbor friend jumping in to help out again.
Squirting graphite down the field? It's got graphite in it already. I talked to Josh, he said I didn't need to use graphite for that. Yeah, that's one way of getting by with totes. Yeah, without having a big tote trailer. Well, one of these days I'm going to buy an auger wagon. Yeah, for fertilizer. Right. And we don't like to use augers for seed because got more chance to split.
Oh, is that right? Yeah.
So that's why they usually have a conveyor belt. It's a little conveyor belt.
Well, I wanted to inaugurate it anyway because
Right.
for this thing.
It's these type of conversations with experienced farmers that have been very helpful to Eric.
Yeah. Oh, the arrows to the back.
Yeah. I lost a lid last night.
Oh, to bring it back.
Yeah. And a seat. Wait.
Oh.
Down there.
We've made it no secret that we lack experience, so just like anyone else learning, we've made a fair number of mistakes. We decided to do a cover crop that was supposed to die over winter. We had a very warm winter for Michigan. So warm, our cover crop oddly survived. This required Eric to spray the cover crop with chemicals in order to kill it. He miscalculated and the cover crop was still thriving. This video was filmed back in May. We ended up having to spray it a second time a few weeks later as the cover crop was competing with the soybeans, and we ended up with slugs eating our young plants. As you can imagine, we were feeling pretty stressed out. This error ended up costing us a couple $1,000s in chemicals, as Eric had to go over it again. Farming isn't easy for the experienced farmers, so you can imagine how stressful this can be for someone just starting out. He's really struggling to see his markers here and asked me to stand in place of the marker. Cleaning his window so he can see better. He's feeling pretty frustrated. Gotta stay hydrated. It's so thick, and with this very old equipment, things keep breaking down. The other piece. This snapped off, and the welding skills come in handy once again.
ticket to drilling and metal. Hand drilling and metal is not drilling too fast. There it is.
I wish I could say that this was the last time that he had to weld up his equipment for the day, but it was not. The planter needs a refill.
It looks like Skittles.
He told me it was my turn to fill up the planter.
You fill it up and then
He knew I wasn't going to be able to lift it up.
Not everybody can be a farmer.
shut up.
One of those wheels?
Yeah, one of these gauge wheels fell off.
And you found it right away?
I found it on the way back.
We've saved a ton of money using older 1970s equipment, but it certainly does not come without its drawbacks. To be completely honest, this was a very long, miserable day, and it was not very easy to film as my husband was getting very irritable and just wanted me out of his face. And we're down again. Tough day with a lot of maintenance and a ton of repairs. He got it finished by sundown and was just so happy to be done with the day. And this is 4 months later. Our soybeans are actually looking really great.